First, and you are tuned into the Elevator Radio Show.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, it is good to be here this Wednesday morning where it is Halloween, and we are back at doing the show again after last week's taking a break, and I appreciate all the well wishes and good lucks that so many of you sent to me regarding my kids headed to their first round playoff, which was very exciting for them. And also for the families. They've been there before, but this one was a little bit different in the sense where both my two boys played defense for their local high school. It was just really neat. It was a really cool experience. One of them being a senior, and unfortunately they didn't do well, but they did play like they didn't win, I should say, but they're winners definitely and champions in how they played and how they handled themselves and conducted themselves throughout the season. They, I think they could have played point to point with these guys if they could have just stopped their two running backs who rushed for like over 400 yards, and then also if they didn't make as many mistakes on offense. But still, it was good, great season, and again, thanks to so many of you out there that sent emails and wishing them the best of luck in their adventure. So season's over. I'm glad. It was always kind of a nervous Friday night for me, because my senior Owen had been hit during one of the games pretty hard in the middle of the season, or maybe the third game, I guess, and suffered a concussion, which was pretty significant and scary for everybody involved. Obviously, it's one of those things where you just close your eyes and you can envision it happening over and over again. It's not something you wanna remember by any means, but. Anyway, but it's over with, and the chance of that happening again for him is not very likely. Quinn has another year, and look forward to watching him next year play the game, so to speak. So I was kind of hoping that this week's show was going to be a little more upbeat and more light, and but unfortunately have some pretty significant sad news to share regarding passing of one of our industry's members, and also some accidents and fatalities as they happened in the United States, unfortunately. So the only good upswing to the show is the fact we're giving away a prize pack giveaway at the end of it, which includes a $100 Visa gift card to one of you lucky listeners out there. So stay tuned till the end, and we'll have you out here in no time. Do apologize for the short intro, but the reality is that, man, I had some very difficult technical support issues this morning. Still working with trying to figure out the studio setup and whatnot. And once we're ready with that, we'll definitely share it. But for now, we still, we're just doing it audio, like old school stuff. Hey, it's Halloween too. Happy Halloween to you. Make sure that you are you're careful driving home, so that you're aware that the kiddies out there who are trick or treating in the dark, just beware of those. Those kids out there, and just be careful when you're driving home tonight and later on tonight as well. So anyway, get into the news next and have some commentary as well to share with you.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug, and fresh with news stories of the week. Got Lyft? If not, stay tuned.
First news article of this week's program comes from Nashville, Tennessee. Fox 17 News covering it. Worker killed in construction elevator accident in Nashville. And if you are listening to the podcast and you're like, hey, where's the show notes? Or what am I, how can I find this article? Go to elevatorradioshow.com, do a keyword search 518. That will be the show number, and the links are in there. Just keep in mind that over a certain amount of time, these links get taken down or moved around. So if you find links from like 2005 or 8 or whatever, you're probably not going to find those links still active like they are today. But anyway, Nashville, Tennessee, Metro Police have identified the worker that died in the construction area. Centennial Medical Center's Daniel Jones, 26 of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Appears to be an accident. Jones worked for Nashville Machine Elevators, and police say he was helping a welder in a newly built elevator shaft when he was hit by the elevator's pulley counterweight system. Silent killer, they call it. So please be careful out there in the surroundings. 26 is way too young to be to be on this earth. That's just the bottom line. 26 is way too young. Another accident that occurred in Lexington, Kentucky. This one being reported by the Lexington Herald-Leader. 38-year-old father dies in elevator fall in downtown Lexington building. I don't know a better way. There's no better thing about this article, but hitting it home is the fact that it was a father, 38 years old, or young, I should say. And they're still, investigating the incident. It was definitely a fall. Nobody saw him fall. It looks as if he fell about 14 to 16 feet. Anyway, it's kind of scary, so just be careful. I was, when I drive home each day on the 294 expressway, they're putting up this cement concrete building. And like most buildings, you'll see the elevator shaft on the inside. And this one has a really large front exposed area that will probably be glass or something, because you can see into the building. It's got a roof, it's got the sides and the walls and whatnot, but the front of it's open. And you can see the elevator opening at the second floor, and it's got like a 2x4 that's just like screwed in nails across the entrance, and that is not proper fall protection. And regardless of whether or not the site is set up for people to be working on or not, it's just this kind of stuff is preventable. So, and as you read that one article, or as I did, there's another article further down, or a link in that one, that talks about the fact there have been 2 accidents. This next one I'm sharing doesn't have anything to do, with the previous story about the elevator accident, but it just is a strong reminder that we are all, no matter how safe we are, still susceptible to accidents. So this one talks about man killed in Lexington UPS accident was known for his caution. And I wanted to share this just as a reminder that no matter how safe we all think we are being, or, no matter what steps we're taking, the proper fall protection, lockout, tagout, we are still susceptible to an accident. And this is the perfect case that outlines that. So it's terrible. It's a terrible accident. And this gentleman, Andy T. Shanding, 43, of Carlisle, died, after an accident at UPS customer center. And the reality is that I'm not sure what exactly happened on this, but he had fall protection on, and definitely too young to be leaving his family, or anybody for that matter. And again, the article is there to just confirm and share and prove that, no matter what all of our best intentions are and our safety steps, it's still not enough in some cases. So just remember that, and share that with those you work with during your toolbox meetings or your safety meetings, please. Because just because you're wearing fall protection or you're doing lockout tagout doesn't mean you're going to be safe and go home each and every day. We all have to be vigilant in what we're doing. Learned some sad news last week. Bob Schumacher, resident of Goodyear, Arizona, former resident of White Lake, Michigan, died October 20th, 2018 after a valiant battle with pancreatic cancer. Bob's a great guy. He's Probably met him 3 or 4 times. Every time I met him, just one of those guys that makes an impression on you, and he will be sorely missed. Yeah, and just definitely too young to have to deal with something like this and not be able to overcome it. So, it's life. While the longest thing we will all ever do is still short by many lengths. So anyway, yeah, I was kind of shocked about that, and it's unfortunate. It's a good guy. I'm glad I met him. He'll be sorely missed for sure. Next news article: Empire State Building's unsung heroes. I don't know if anybody's had a chance or read anything up on when the Empire State Building was struck by a B-25. I think that's what it was. Yeah, and that's when they reported the only elevator falling ever, and that was actually for a while, I guess, or where the cables broke or whatever. I forgot what they said on it. Anyway, this is a cool article talking about just what happened that day and how horrific it was. I mean, it's just unbelievable, and how the unsung heroes came to the rescue and trying to help those that were injured. And in this case, there were people in the elevator. Nobody died when the elevator fell, and the B-52 or B-25, I'm sorry, cut through the cables, and they credit it to being the cables that had fallen, compensation cables, I guess, underneath, that had kind of cushioned it to some extent. I think that's the deal. But just kind of a neat story you should share with your I don't know, your kids and stuff, because it's stuff you don't read about every day. Okay, Spectrum News, New York One has an article talking about. They're talking about New York City's last subway station elevator tenants will stay put. After all, 5 Upper Manhattan subway stations won't lose their elevator tenants after the MTA agreed Tuesday night not to reassign those workers as part of a cost-saving strategy. Didn't even realize they had tenants. So anyway, but I guess the pushback came from the union, who didn't want that to happen for obvious reasons, and so attendants will still be there. I think that's always good. Why not? Residential home lift company recalls 8,000 elevators. Waupaca Elevator has put out to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. If you have installed Waupaca custom lift 450 pound with serial numbers 10-1001 through 10-3131, and custom lift 500 pound with serial numbers 10-3132 through 10-8111, 010-00-8112 through 010-10 Anyway, check this link out in the show notes, or go to Waupaca Elevator to find out more information about this. They do recommend you contact them so they can determine whether or not gearboxes or brake needs to be added. So anyway, go check that out. Link is in the show notes. Next news article: court action against owner of apartment building. This is one of those deals where you don't see too often, where a faulty elevators prompt court action against owner of Greensburg apartment building for the elderly. Greensburg officials filed a criminal complaint against the owner of Pershing Square Apartments, a 12-story downtown building where elderly residents have been left stranded after elevators repeatedly broke down. So as an official, can't you do more than just file legal action? I guess not. So apparently the owner of this building is called I Chose Not to Run Limited Liability Corporation. Has not done service has not done since receiving a notice of code violation on September 21st regarding replacing the elevators. Well, the reality is that elevators are definitely expensive, and so but anyway, you can read more about that. Link is in the show notes. Perhaps some fodder or some information you might want to share with customers or building owners who just do not want to do anything in terms of maintaining or improving elevators anywhere. Okay, Irish Times reporting football fans crushed as escalator collapses in Rome. I think this is a video it's going to play. I'm going to let everybody watch that on their own. Kind of a scary situation, obviously, and just something you don't see every day or hear about every day. And thank goodness nobody was fatally injured on that. So, okay, tomorrow is the Chicago Elevator Association meeting. The next one, it's November 1st, 2018, 6:30 p.m. We will have information regarding the holiday party or Christmas party shortly on the website, so just keep that in mind. That'll get posted relatively soon. So link is in the show notes. If you're in the area, please stop by for that. Support your local elevator organizations and associations the best that you can. And the last news article, if you're looking for QEI credits or educational units for anything, go to NASA International. I've linked up the NASA activities calendar, linked up on the website here. There's no other source that provides more educational opportunities to get your QEI credits renewed. So, and also the Elevator Code Associate 101 update is coming up December 6th and 7th. And you can link on that to find out. So pretty cool, and some great opportunities to get someplace warm in the wintertime if you're looking for those types of credits. And that's going to do for the show, everybody. I told you I'd be out of here, get you out of here pretty quick, lickety-split, all that good stuff. Remember, be careful when you're driving home today to make sure you don't hit any kids. There'll be little kids dressed as goblins and ghouls and whatever. So make sure you're careful of that. And we're going to give away a prize pack giveaway today. And I'm going to go to our random number generator here, random.org, if you were looking for something like that. And toward my minimum number 16852. Okay, 3995. I'm going to cross-reference that to... Okay, and the winner of the October prize pack giveaway is Eddie. Eddie from California. Eddie, you are a mechanic, and it is awesome to have you listening to the program. I will send you an email shortly confirming your address so I can send all this cool stuff to you. And as always, to everybody out there, be safe. Be careful as you are working out there, and practice safety each and every day. You take care. Have a happy and safe Halloween, and we will talk to you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.